Well, you know, one of the things I always say is you can't be everything to everybody, and not every chair can be perfect for everyone.
Hi, it's Christopher Grubb. I'm at High Point for Market, and I am with Michael Berman. Michael and I have known each other for several years.
Yes.
I very much respect him. I've always respected him. I bought furniture from your line. I love the lines. It's beautiful. And we're at Theodore Alexander.
Right.
You've got a collection, a few new pieces. So talk to us about what inspires you. What inspires you as a designer?
Christopher, thank you for those kind words, number one. This collection is called Califoleo. It's really inspired by coastal living. I call it coastal modern. It's got an influence from mid-century modernism, a little bit of Art Deco inspired, and a lot of original designs as well.
A lot of that shows up in your finishes.
Exactly.
It's really just the texture and they're beautiful finishes. What inspired you on the finishes?
The finishes, saguaro, cacti, driftwood, the sand, a lot of the things that you identify with California specifically. Right. We did a lot of wire brush techniques. There's some cerused finishing where they've got like multiple layers of stain and then a white wax rubbed in.
Right.
Finishes that we named like sandalwood, driftwood. I have a really cool finish called incense. It's like the smoke that you see when you blow out incense. It's got that sort of grayish brown color. What I really loved about putting the collection together was that I drew inspiration from the California desert, the climate, the landscaping.
And I like the metals you use. You know, the chairs you have and the hardware, where do you get the inspiration for that?
I'm seeing a lot of bronze. Obviously, you know, we've been seeing brass making a resurgence for a number of months already, if not years. So bronze, brass, we've got a blackened steel finish. We've got a beautiful cabinet called the washi cabinet, which has like inlaid liquid brass.
I like the name.
And yes, it's called the washi because of the brush strokes of Japanese calligraphy. One of the things I really wanted to convey with this collection is the finishes, whether they're metal or wood or painted, have a dryness to them. I like the idea of the matte finish when it comes to wood these days.
So when you design, what are your thoughts with scale? Because, you know, we're in California, some of the rims are much bigger. What are your thoughts when you think, okay, scale for across the market?
You know, really, when we put the collection together, we were thinking, well, yes, we do come from California, and we are lucky enough to have generous spaces, and our homes seem to have a lot more square footage. But we also are designing for Chicago, and we're designing for New York, and we're designing for San Francisco, condos and apartments, and even European cities. So some of the pieces we actually did in 2 scales. For example, we have something called the Bailey swivel chair. Okay. And the Bailey chair, one of the best-selling pieces, comes in 2 scales. There's the Petite Bailey and then the Grand Bailey. So we did that with a number of the furniture pieces so that we could capture the sale for both people living in small spaces and people living in big spaces.
I didn't know you did that. Brilliant. Yeah. Because that's a challenge as a designer. You love a piece, you're like, it's not going to fit, or I can't make it bigger. Yeah. And especially as there's a downsizing, you know, people moving into urban areas.
Exactly.
And I think it's really, really smart.
Yeah. When you're doing a collection, you need to put together enough variety so that there's going to be something for everybody. You know, have some choices. So we've got chairs that have deep seating, high backs, then we've got dining chairs that are a little bit more petite that work more like in a dining room or a kitchen. So, you know, we just try to have a variety.
What's catching your eye? So giving your secret away.
In terms of what I'm looking forward to, I think I'm inspired a lot more by pattern and a lot more by furniture of the 1920s and 30s, that sort of Deco influence, but then reinterpreted for a modern market.
Okay, it was great talking to you. Remind me where I can find your work and your product information.
Thank you, it was great talking to you. You can see the Califoleo Collection of furniture at Theodore Alexander, right here in High Point. There's a showroom in New York, and hopefully showrooms popping up across the country soon. My own furniture line, which is Michael Berman Limited, is available to the trade through showrooms across the country and every big city.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, it's great.